you want to try to do that, Lena?
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I really didn't come prepared before. I really apologize earlier when I spoke sort of off the top of my head. That was an emotional response of that whole week based on what Bruce was talking about. But I did write a lot about what happened on the committee, the final amendment, how the HRC camp, that's what I call them, how they would like pressure people into voting certain ways. They either pressure you, threaten you, or they promise you something. And the minority report situation where we signed 6 minority reports and the campaign decided to back down. So that was hard for us to deal with. But as far as how the HRC camp pressures you, they had for the HRC camp, they were using texting, GroupMe. They used GroupMe. They did that on the floor too. They used GroupMe text, and then they also had people standing. And we had green and we had red, but we never had anybody force us or ask us or push us. They told we could vote our conscience pretty much. I mean, they would say, yeah, this is one we want. That's the way I thought of it, because I couldn't read every single, we did 232 amendments, right? And we, withdrew some of them. So, they're doing like this. But the other people, the Hillary folks, are like, they're just down that line when it was, you couldn't have conversations with them about any of these. Yeah, it really did feel like there was a definite difference in socioeconomic. That was very obvious. All the delegates that came in. These people, we had delegates that came in from California and Florida and Georgia and whatnot that wanted to be guests. This one guy, this horrible guy from Tennessee, called them the peanut gallery and everything. That was not good. But it was just this weird tension between the progressive, we are obviously the progressive wing of this party that wants to kind of return the Democratic Party back to its original values and get away from all this corporatist, control, because that's what happened. And I'm sorry, but the Clintons did it. I lived through the 90s, okay? And he made deals because he was told to make deals. He worked with Dick Morris, read his stuff. Dick told him, go moderate. So he made these deals. He did this crime bill. He did the welfare bill. He did this to get the stuff passed with the Republicans for his own power, not for the people's good. And I think that's the difference. That's what Bernie, ignited in us, is that we want something that's for the people, that's good for the people. Why are you poisoning and killing the people? We know 100,000 people in Flint. Yeah. What is that? They are killing us, literally. And that's why you have people in the street, and you have us on the floor, me up in the committee, we're doing whatever we're doing. Me and Christine Kramer just we're booing with them on the Monday night. There's people around us that are hillbots. And it's kind of scary. They were even told by text, don't do anything alone, because then it was like Bernie said, stop it. And then they were like, don't do anything alone because they will rip you out of your chair and take you out. And you lose your credentials or whatever. So it was a lot of, That's what revolution's about.
It's intimidation.
Yeah.
Okay. For the people, what a concept. Does anybody from the panel have an answer to Dennis's question? Say it again, Dennis.
Wall Street reform. What were those meetings like, specifically about, with the Bernie people? What were the Hillary people, what was their reasoning for not having or having Wall Street?
Sounds like one for you, Lena.
The only thing I can remember actually was on campaign finance.
Brainwashing for years, for decades,
Brainwashing.
That's why they don't want to have Wall Street. They don't want to have Wall Street reform. They've been brainwashed into it. I know. On Monday night,
They just tell them what to do, basically.
On Monday night,
and what to think and how to vote for real.
On Monday night, we had you to stay together. Al and I. On Monday night, Monday was 102 degrees. So I had a meeting in the morning. I'm an MEA too, MEA retired. So I had a meeting in the morning to get my precious stipend from NEA. So I didn't want to screw that up. So I went to that, but I had to walk 6 blocks to get there in 102 degrees. Didn't know it was 102 degrees. I'm just walking and drinking water, not Gatorade, walking and drinking water. And then went back to hear Bernie speak another 6 blocks back. Through 3 buildings, 3 huge buildings to find where he was. And the people that were supposed to help us could not direct us where to go. They were like,
oh, well, no, that's because, the credentials, we didn't tell you about that. The super volunteers of Bernie's, there were 800 of them. They de-credentialed them. They let 200 of them on one day. They were supposed to be the volunteers to help the delegates with anything they needed on the floor. And then the second day, they decredentialed all of them, all 600 of them.
I wonder why they didn't know anything.
That's why nobody knew anything, because the
tell you where.
Hillary people pushed them out. These people did what we did. They raised money, they paid to come, they drove. They were living in hostels. They put them up in hostels. They had a Bernie meeting on the phone, you know, they have of what they're going to do. This is what you're going to do for the delegates.
They were out with us.
Right.
They were out with us. They were.
Yeah.
We met them. Yep.
So she spoke at the Black Men for Bernie thing, and Black Men for Bernie definitely is pro Green Party. There's a huge movement to the Greens. They needed something. The folks needed something. They were out there fighting. We cannot, the way that they feel about it, and the delegates that walked on Tuesday night, because there was a sign of protest, they walked out. I was out there, I was doing interviews, trying to explain stuff, but they can't vote for Hillary because of this whole corporatist thing, and just that it seems totally opposite and antithesis, whatever that word is, to antithetical to Bernie, and they just can't do it. It's just in their gut. So, but anyway, she is picking up on that, of course, and it's easy for her to do that because she has a party that already has this stuff very easily, can walk right into this. And she's actually been along the whole way talking to us, saying, hey, it's time, let's do this thing, let's do this thing. And so now you've got people that want to do something. And I don't see anything wrong with what I think I like about our revolution is our revolution. We can choose to support people based on the issues.
Yeah.
So we'll go for the Democrats right now, or whatever. We'll work for people, we'll canvass, we phone bank. This is what we do. And then maybe we do something in terms of challenging the oligarchy, because we just can't do it in our gut. It just isn't something. Bernie, there's also a meme going around. It's Bernie when it was like in April, he was on TV, whatever, debate. The guy asked him, and he says, if I ever tell you to vote for, don't listen to me. I wouldn't expect you to, basically. Okay? He says, vote your conscience. So there is a divide. There's a vote your conscience divide, and there's a, well, Bernie said vote for Hillary divide. And that's just the way it's going to be, and I think we can exist in both realms. We just have to keep working.
We're past 8 o'clock already. I'm going to like 2 panelists come